This week, Amazon reveals AI for the enterprise.
Android malware steals Google account information.
And the Canadian government is making it easier to import highly skilled global talent. My name's Alex Radu.
I'm Emin Wood.
And this is IT World Canada's weekly update. To start, we have some big news out of Las Vegas at Amazon Web Services reInvent conference. One of the big trends we've seen as 2016 comes to a close are the hyperscale public cloud players competing in the artificial intelligence space. Microsoft, Google, and Amazon all want to use their scalable infrastructure to provide enterprises with the machine learning capabilities they are demanding. This week, AWS jumped on that trend in a big way and announced 3 new AI services. Our own Paulo Del Nobledo was there to cover it. He writes about how enterprises can now call upon AWS services to develop applications that support natural language recognition, visual text recognition, and text-to-speech functions. Basically, the underlying tools that built Amazon's Alexa are now open to your in-house developers as a playground. And Emin, this is just the beginning.
That's right. At some point, CEO Andy Jassy was making a new announcement every 90 seconds, which was highlighted by the next generation of Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, or EC2.
We had a chance to sit down with Andy, and he told us, quote, "All these announcements are more akin to a kid opening gifts at Christmas and being able to share them with their family and friends." We have 32,000 customers here at the reInvent conference, and if you check out the vibe in the halls and in the sessions, those people are excited about the cloud and what it can enable them to do. This is a movement. There's passion out there about the ability to control your own destiny. These tools give them that leverage. They now feel that whatever needs to get done can be done, end quote. Moving forward, Emin, we have news from Howard Solomon about the Android malware attack this week.
That's correct, Alex. This week, Checkpoint Software said it had discovered a new malware campaign that targets Android 4, Jelly Bean, and KitKat, and Android 5, Lollipop. Apparently, these represent nearly 74% of Android devices in use today. Checkpoint believes that over 1 million Google accounts have already been compromised. The malware, which has been dubbed Gooligan, has been found in dozens of legitimate-looking apps on third-party Android app stores. Infected apps include Wi-Fi Enhancer, Stopwatch, Perfect Cleaner, and Memory Booster. Michael Shawlov, Checkpoint's head of mobile products, said in a statement, quote, "This over 1 million Google account detail is very alarming and represents the next stage of cyber attacks. We are seeing a shift in the strategy of hackers who are now targeting mobile devices in order to obtain the sensitive information that is stored on them," end quote.
And has Google commented on the attack and made any steps towards fixing it?
Yes. Checkpoint alerted Google before going public with the news, and Google itself has taken numerous steps to protect its users and improve the security of the Android ecosystem overall. These steps began with contacting affected users, revoking their tokens, and removing apps associated with this malware from Google Play, before adding new protections to its Verify Apps technology. As mobile cyber attacks continue to ramp up, we'll have to see how companies like Google continue to update their security options.
Yes, we will, and hopefully it's going to be enough.
Agreed. But let this be a lesson. There is, unfortunately, a valid reason these companies want us upgrading our phones every couple of years, and I say that as the former owner of a Samsung Galaxy Q, which came out in 2011 and ran on Android version 2, and which I did not replace until last year. Our last news comes from you, Alex, and you were in Mississauga earlier this week to write about it.
That's right, Emin. This Wednesday, the Minister of Innovation, Science and Economic Development, Navdeep Bains, and the Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship, John McCallum, were in Mississauga at the headquarters of CMO firm Therapure Biopharma to announce the Trudeau government's global skills strategy. Essentially, this announcement reveals the government's plan to make it easier for companies to bring in highly skilled talent from across the world with 3 core tenets. 1, to establish an ambitious 2-week standard for processing visas and work permits for low-risk, high-skilled talent for companies doing business in Canada. 2, to create a dedicated service channel for companies looking to make large, job-creating investments in Canada. And 3, to drop the work permit requirement for very short-term work, i.e. 30 days or less, in low-risk fields, including brief academic stays. The government believes that bringing in global talent to fill important positions will ultimately lead to the creation of Canadian jobs. For example, Nick Green, Therapure's CEO and president, is part of a global team that immigrated to Canada to create a business that now employs hundreds of people, the vast majority of which are Canadians. Minister Bains said at the press conference, quote, "One key hire can attract many others. This critical mass of talent enables the startup of new companies. Tapping into a large pool of highly trained people, both in Canada and abroad, will set this country up for a success as a global innovation leader." End quote.
This news doesn't necessarily allow for a broader spectrum of talent to come in, correct?
That's correct. Minister McCallum clarified after the press conference that visas won't be suddenly processed in 2 weeks for everybody, only for the subset of people that the government recognizes as a priority. Additionally, the government is seeking feedback from companies that will be affected by this new strategy, as they want to make sure that they get it right the first time. The plan will come into effect starting mid-2017.
That is all the time we have for today. For more information on these topics, be sure to visit the links below.
Thanks for watching IT World Canada's weekly update. I'm Alex Radu.
And I'm Emin Wood. Have a great weekend.